Well, I've got this old sweet treats jar, and it's made out of plastic, and it was something that I think my son or someone got for Christmas off of a family member, and I want to use it again, but I want to make it something a little bit more special than this. So what I'm first of all going to do is take off this label, and all I'm going to do that with is soak it. That should then come off really easily. Now this is all clean, what I'm going to do is turn it into something a little bit more fun. And I've got some socks and some odd material. First thing I'm going to do is cover the body. So I'm going to cut my sock off there. Like that. It doesn't matter if it's not too neat at the moment, because we can neaten it all up as we go, and then stretch that over, and that's going to come right up to there. Neaten that off a little bit. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then with this bit here, I want to make some arms to go in there, and the arms are going to come down to about there. So all I'm going to do is cut that bit off there, like that, and then cut that in half like that, and that's going to be the arms. Probably a bit wide for making the arms, so I'll narrow that down just a little bit. There will be a little bit of sewing involved in this, but not a great deal. Most of it I'm going to do with my trusty cordless hot glue gun. I'm going to just run a quick bit of this glue down these seams and then join those up. I'm working inside out at the moment. Socks tend to roll up, but you can, if you want to, you can iron them, but who's got time for ironing? And then one end, I'm just going to roll up as well, like that. And just quickly glue that roll up there. Now, I've got some black material as well that I'm going to put in there, but I want to turn that into a glove. So what I'm going to do first is make that more of a glove shape. I've got two pieces the same size. I'm not going to put a thumb in it. I just want it as a glove shape. So that sort of shape. Glue that onto there like that. So now I've turned that inside out, and we've got the little arm like that with the seam going on the inside. I'm going to make this little glove. I've cut the shape out of the glove, and I'm going to glue it together. And this piece I'm going to sew together rather than glue it together using a little bit of black thread, and just at the moment just sew all the way around there. So what I've done is I've turned my glove inside out, and I've glued that inside the arm. I've filled it with a bit of wadding, and now I'm going to fill this arm with a bit more wadding as well, and this makes it a little bit more arm-like. And now I should have two arms. They're going to go either side of here, just there below the shoulders. Now I'm not too worried about this being here like this. All I'm going to do for that is sew around here like that and pull it so it all comes together, because none of this will show on the final piece anyway. So now we've got the hands on, what I want to do is put some, not fur, but some white around there of the cuffs. I've got a white sock here, just taking the band off. That'll go around the edge like that, all the way around that cuff. Now we can fluff these socks up a little bit. All I'm going to do is quickly measure that. I want that to cut about there. I'm going to glue those together, those two little seams. Have you guessed we're making Father Christmas? I should have said that at the beginning. Right, so there's the little seam. Turn that round the right way. And now this will fold in on itself, because these socks tend to do that. We want it to look like a cuff. So I'm going to allow that to happen naturally, like that. Then I'm going to pop some white thread through it to keep them down. And that will kind of puff itself up as well, like that. So now it's rolled over that edge there. All I'm going to do is run some white thread through that and sew all the way around top and bottom. So once we've got those made, all you need to do is pop them on the arm. Like that. And you can glue these on if you want, but actually I've done them so that they're probably strong enough or tight enough to stay where they are, like that. So I've now cut a strip of the black cloth here that I'm going to place around the waist, like that, going all the way around. And then once I'm happy with its placement, again, I can just use a piece of the hot glue to glue this on with, and then get it all the way around. I want it to overlap and have a little bit of the belt kind of flapping there. So I'll put the final bit of glue on it about there. So the belt is like that. It all lines up. And now I just need to make a buckle for that belt. I'm going to make out of some of this gold mirror card, and I want to make sure that it comes above there. Okay, so I know how big to make it, and then all I need to do is to cut out the inside bit in here, and then that will be the buckle going on there like that. So I'm going to quickly just glue that on. And now the cuffs are made, what I need to do is obviously make Santa's head. Now I've got the end of the white sock here, and all I'm going to do is stuff that till it's quite tight in there. Don't want him to have a massive, massive head, but I also want him to have a head that's proportionate to the body. A bit bigger than that, I think he needs. That'll do me lovely. Now I'm taking that off because I want to be able to glue that onto there all the way around in the same way that I had previously done with this. And then we'll give Santa a bit of a neck as well. But also it covers up all that plastic pot. So now I've got that to the shape that I want and the size that I want. What I'm going to do is glue this all the way round onto here. And you would do this if you had a lid or whatever you wanted to use if you weren't using a plastic pot. I could do with some white fluffy like fake fur really, but I don't have any, so I have to make the best of what I've got. And I need to make sure that when it's screwed on there I know which is the front, because when it's screwed back on there, last thing I want to do is have it so that his head is on backwards. That's the sort of thing I would do. So I now know that that is going to be the front, and I need to do some eyes for him. So I want his eyes to be about here, fairly close together. I'm just making a little mark on there where I want them. And for his eyes, what I'm going to be using is some beads. I've got a couple of largest beads for his eyes, and I'm going to be using black thread for this because it's not going to show at the end anyway. So I've threaded up my needle, and all I'm going to do is now poke that through the back of his head till it comes out where I want it. As you can see, it's through the back of his head there. Pop on a bead like that, and then go back through and pull that tight, and then we've got a little eye. So there we go. We've got some eyes now. And then for a nose, I'm going to use a different colour bead. Just mark on here where I want the nose. I want the nose fairly high up, and then do exactly the same thing. And now we've got the head on and the little nose. What I'm going to do is put some trim around here. So what I've got is the other white sock, and I've just cut an edge off it there, and that's going to act as the trim going all the way around there and down here like that to the belt. Now that is what I'm going to use to be covering up the arm bits. And I'll be sewing all along those edges and then gluing that on. So I've made a little tube out of that sock. Now what I'm going to do is fill it with some stuffing. I don't want it too thick. I don't want it like the arms. All I want is just so it's got a bit of substance to it rather than laying completely flat. So it's going to be a bit more like that. So when it's on there, it will kind of sit up a little bit more like a padded collar. So now I've stuffed that, what I'm going to do is glue that on to here. I've positioned it where I want it, and I'll be able to glue that on like this. Make sure that as I glue it on, I'm covering up those bits of the arm going round. And then when I get to here is bring that down across there like that and down to here and glue that onto there. That's all stuck down really well. Put some buttons on. I've cut some out using that same black material and add them down here like this. I've done 3 because I think 3 is a nice number. And again, I will use the glue gun and glue those on. So that's that on there now, and finish off the head. And I'm also going to make it a scarf as well to put round here because I think that'll help just tidy it all up. But overall, I'm really pleased with how it's coming out. Now, first of all, I need to make a hat for Santa, and he's going to have a red hat. And this is going to be his hat, there is no doubt about it, which is the end of the sock. And that'll just sit on there like that. I like the way that it comes out here, but it needs something on the end of there, there's no doubt about it. It does need a bobble on it. Now, I'm happy with the way the sock is rolling. So what I'm going to do is just glue this all the way down, going all the way around here. Pulling it more further back at the back here, because we want to cover up those bits where we put the cotton through to make the eyes. And we are going to give him some hair, and obviously he will need a beard as well, because you can't have a Santa Claus without a big beard. I just need to make a pom-pom or a bobble for that now. And the easiest way I know to make a pom-pom is to get a bit of card like this and just run some wool all the way around it until you've got on there enough that you think that is enough. Yeah, I think that's enough. Cut that off there. And then what I do is cut a split in the card there and take a piece of wool like this and put it there like that, and then I thread that down under that side there and then tie that into quite a tight knot, those 2 bits of thread. Then go around the middle again, wrapping around that middle a few times, tying that quite tight, then tying another knot cut that off. There's my pom-pom. And now, if you want to leave it all nice and straggly, you can. But if you want to trim it up, all you got to do is go through and give it a bit of a haircut. Yep, and I'm quite happy with that. And then that's going to go onto his hat there. There we go. He's now got a bobble hat on. And we're going to have some hair coming out here. And we're also going to give him a beard as well. But I need to make a scarf first. So this is how the scarf will wrap round it, but obviously I want to be able to have some fluff on it like I've got on here. So now we've got him, his scarf's on, is make his beard and some of his hair. I've got this white wool that I'm going to be using for this, and literally is make some small pom-poms round this card in the same way I made the pom-pom for the hat. So there we go. I've made loads of those now, and I've made some longer and some shorter, and what I shall do is use my hot glue gun and stick these around here for the beard and the moustache and also the hair. And then once they're all stuck on, I can then give them a little bit of a trim, which I'll show you. And they stick on there fairly little. I should go around the hair and do a full beard as well. I want to get them quite nice and tight together. And if I have to make more, that is not a problem. I can make some more. Well, he's all finished now. And I do think he looks really, really cute. And his head comes off nice and easy, which is what you want, isn't it? So just pop his head off. Like that, and then I can fill that for sweets. Pop the head back on, because I know now it goes and sits in the right position. Pop his little scarf on so he doesn't get cold. And there he is. How cute is he? Putting the beard and the hair on, I think, makes a massive difference. Just finished it off lovely. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this project as much as I have. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget, leave me a comment and check out the video that I've got coming up next, because I think you'll really like that. Ho, 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 ho. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.